Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Walking Dead video. So in this one, I want to talk about the new Daryl Dixon trailer that got released yesterday, I believe. This trailer shows off a lot of new footage. There's some really interesting shots. There's actually a shot that I have to include in the thumbnail because it really does add to what we've been discussing, which is the new variant walkers and how much of a role they're going to be playing in this show. And this trailer definitely gave us a lot of that. And I'm just so fascinated in this story. I'm so fascinated in how the variant walkers in France is related to some of the stuff that's happening in America with like Jenner and etc. Right? So anyways, before we go any further, obviously make sure to be a subscriber if you want to get all my Walking Dead content like this. And if you haven't subscribed to the podcast yet, definitely go do so. Episode 6 will be dropping on Monday. The podcast is titled The Empty Minds Podcast. I will leave a link down below in the description if you're interested. So this trailer shows off a lot of what the show is going to be about. There's a lot of focus on Isabelle actually. And I've been noticing that, and I think that's actually a very smart thing that they're doing, but online they're posting a lot of like, I almost want to say character, I guess it's like character videos kind of thing, right? Like, I guess we're not really getting character portraits anymore. I guess they're just like, that was just sort of an old thing. It looks like what they're doing now is more of like character, I guess videos is what you would call them, where there's almost like this like future thing on like a specific character and you see certain things. You have the actor kind of talking about whatever. It's very cool. In this one here, though, obviously we don't get that, but I've just been noticing that they've been focusing a lot more on Isabelle lately, probably because I just saw also like that feature on the character. We have this shot here of Daryl, and at this point here, I don't know what he's wearing here, but this does look like it's going to be in episode 1. This kind of looks like it happens at some point after the whole acid walker thing, because that's what I'm assuming happens, is that afterwards he's kind of hurt by that, and I think he'll probably continue walking somewhere. Well, that's the thing too. I don't know how much we're going to see, I guess, that much more of France immediately, because I'm just trying to think of it in terms of editing and just like putting all this stuff together, because editing this footage together, you know, you just had like this whole montage of him traveling everywhere. I don't think we're going to get the same thing where he just, you know, starts traveling again and then you have this other like music type montage kind of thing, right? I don't think it makes a lot of sense that that's going to happen. I feel like what's going to happen after this is maybe he walks somewhere else and then he falls asleep in some building overnight or something like that. Or maybe that night or the morning after he runs into somebody, like somebody's around. He tries to talk to them because remember at this point, he doesn't really talk to anybody. There's no one around. So maybe he actually sees somebody and he's trying to talk to them like, where am I? What's going on? Is there a place where there's food? Is there places around here kind of thing? And that might be where he's maybe captured kind of thing and then taken in. And then that's where I think a scene like this will play, where obviously, you know, he's woken up and stuff, and he's probably just explaining a lot more of just who he is in general, right? Like I'm Daryl Dixon and I'm from America, this and that. Although I think a lot of that dialogue obviously is in the beginning, but you get what I mean. He's gonna talk a little bit more about who he is and stuff in general. And then we get this shot here of Isabelle. And I think this as well is from episode 1. Isabelle, we know, I believe is actually a nun. I'm pretty sure. Like, I'm not entirely sure, but I know she's at that place. And I think she's going to be, like, it seems like she's going to be a main character. And she's going to be helping Daryl throughout a lot of this here. We have this one shot here of this character. And I don't believe this is Isabelle. It doesn't look like Isabelle. If you notice, though, this seems to be kind of in line with some of the experiment talk or some of the Cure storyline that we've been discussing, right? Like you actually have this character here laying down and it looks like they're about to turn to a walker or maybe they're coming down from that and they're being cured of something. I'm not entirely sure what's going on here, but they don't look like they're full on like turning to a walker yet. It's almost like they're kind of in between states, right? So like it would be kind of cool if we actually did get scenes like that, if they're actually going to start exploring some of that here. And is this with the good guys here of the group or is this with the bad guys, right? Like I'm not entirely sure of the storyline. I know technically the place that Daryl is staying, they do want to cure people. They do have this mission in curing, I guess, everyone. They want to bring Laurent or they want Daryl to bring Laurent to a certain place. And maybe that's what this is connected to. It's possible. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, so we do have this shot also of Caudron, and it looks like he actually is at the, I guess, I don't know what you call this place. I know that there's actually a name for it, but I'm not entirely sure right now. But obviously this is where Daryl is staying, right? And it looks like he came here with his forces, and yeah, you can just tell it's the same place here. So you know, I heard that, and I'm gonna do a video on this, but I heard the actor who plays Caudron talk about the group, I guess, that his character is in or something, and he said something about like the cause. Or it was something like that. So I actually do wonder if it's not necessarily like there's villains over here and there's like heroes over here. I wonder if it's more of like a governmental thing where they're sort of all operating under one thing, and maybe there is some issue here. Maybe this has to do with Daryl. Like maybe they heard that there's this American that's here, and he came to this place. It's possible that they're more of like the military, and then the nuns and stuff staying in this place, it's more of a separate thing, like this religious type thing, right? Like I could see that being the case. And so they got word that the American, Daryl Dixon, is at this place here. And so maybe that's why they came here. Maybe there's something to do with Laurent. I'm not entirely sure of what's happening here, but there could be suspicions of what's happening here in this place and what the nuns are doing. And maybe the military of this place, of whatever this place is going to be called, they don't want there to be a cure, you know, and they're sort of against what they're doing. So maybe that's why they're here in this manner. You know, it's sort of, it's all one, just, you know, it's all one place kind of thing. It's this big, huge community, or I guess place that is run by, I'm not entirely sure who at this point, but I think that could make sense. And then we have this other shot here where we have Daryl meeting this other character, and I'm not entirely sure who he is right now, but obviously Daryl's going to run into him at some point in the series here. And I do remember a shot from the trailer. It looks like he had this place where there was like a lot of vegetation, and maybe that's sort of the thing that this place does do, is they have a lot of the natural resources. Maybe they grow a lot of the food, and I don't know, that's more of a prediction on my part. I'm almost sort of thinking that like this place is like sectioned into certain parts, right? Like you have people that are more military, you have more of a religious part, and then you have parts where they focus a lot on like agriculture and stuff. I don't know, but I'm very interested in knowing who this character is, because he obviously was in the trailer. Will he eventually join the characters? Like, is he a main character? I guess we'll have to wait and see. We have this other shot here of Daryl, and it looks like, I mean, it's so hard to say what this is, but based off of his outfit here, we know that there is a shot in the trailer where we see Daryl sort of, he was taken in captive, and I'm assuming it is by the military people or whatever you would call them. And at this point here, maybe that's where he is. I don't know if he's being questioned here in front of a lot of people, but it looks like I'm guessing just a lot of people are watching and just kind of seeing what's happening here. So I don't know if there's like a crowd watching and if they're going to try and embarrass Daryl or something like that, but pretty interesting shot here. And then obviously we have this really amazing shot, and I just can't wait to see this. Like, I'm assuming this is where Daryl stays. Like, this is where the nuns are. And I think that, yeah, it's just sort of on its own here. I mean, just incredible. Honestly, I can't believe, just for a Walking Dead show, right? Like, as if we're actually getting something like this, like just to see the visuals here. It's incredible. And then we have this shot here of Isabelle, and there's nuns here around, obviously, and she looks super upset. I don't know what's happening here. She is holding a baby. She looks very, very upset. Is this her child? I'm not entirely sure of the context here. Maybe this is, I don't know. Again, it's so hard for me to talk about some of the stuff here when it comes to a lot of the storylines, like with the nuns and stuff and the Cure storyline, because it seems like they're hinting at a Cure storyline, that they are obsessed with sort of, you know, curing humanity and actually, or I guess to use their exact words, to revive humanity, right? Because Daryl is supposed to be the one that will bring on the revival of humanity. And so is that their beliefs? It kind of seems like it. Like everything that we're getting, it's going more and more in that direction. But a lot of the very specific details and what they're doing to try and achieve that, that's what's kind of hard to understand right now. So we'll just have to wait and see. But very interesting shot here. I mean, this does, like, Isabelle, I think, is going to be such a big character on this show. Like, I can already see it. She has like this stage presence on the show, I think, so far. And again, like, this could be completely changed once we watch the show. But so far with what I'm seeing, it's actually kind of cool, because she does seem like she's going to be a really, really awesome character, and I think could be a fan favorite. So it's kind of exciting. So we'll have to wait and see where this goes. But then we get to the next shot here, which is like obviously the most exciting shot and what everyone wants to talk about. And that is of this walker here. And I mean, this walker has this really insane metal piece around it, obviously to prevent biting and etc. It looks like the walker was shot with a dart or something like that, or a tranquilizer maybe. The walker looks insane. Like, it doesn't look like a normal walker. It looks like it's a very aggressive walker. Like, the movements in the scene are just insane. So, like, seeing this, I mean, there's so much I'm just so fascinated by with this show in terms of this whole walker thing, because this can change a lot of stuff. If they're actually starting to get into more aggressive walkers and they're introducing these new variants, it's exciting, because maybe this can be more of a dominant thing that happens, you know, going forward. And that's the thing. You introduce this in the first seasons, like, you kind of have to up it every single season, right? To me, when you're looking at this scene, it looks like this walker was probably just like, I'm guessing, just kind of standing here in this room. It looks like it's kind of chained down, or it's held in something anyways. And I'm assuming a light came on, or someone flashed a flashlight down there, and then the walker looked up at the light immediately. And I'm just very interested in is this going to be like a very aggressive variant walker where the walker is like running basically and is very aggressive? Because we saw that in the World Beyond post-credits scene. That walker was so exciting, so cool. Is this what we're seeing here? Is this that walker? I think it is. And I think that could be one of the things that ends up being like a really big scene in the first season here, probably by episode 5 or 6, 4, 5, 6, around there. One of the big action scenes are probably going to be that Daryl encounters these walkers and they're actually set free, they're let loose, and they're running at him or whatever, and then he's just like, oh, okay, I have to, like, maybe he takes out a couple of them, but obviously if they're running at him like that, he's probably just gonna run, and he's like, I can't deal with this, right? So super cool shot. This walker looks absolutely incredible. And then we have Laurent here, and obviously this is the shots that we've seen before. He's looking up at the Eiffel Tower. We have this incredible shot right here. No clue what episode this is from. Probably not episode 1. It's probably going to be 2 or 3. But yeah, I'm excited for Daryl Dixon. I can't wait for the show to premiere. The show's going to be coming out in, what is it now? Like 29 days, right? 29, I guess, -3 if you have AMC Plus. So like 26 days. So really 3.5 weeks until we watch the first episode of Daryl Dixon. So yeah, it's time for my videos to resume again. I had my little break there for a little bit, and now I am back doing 2 videos a day, getting hyped up for this show, because there's gonna be so much stuff. Like, it's gonna be really nonstop. Honestly, I kind of feel bad a little bit that I took a break, but looking at the schedule now, like, this is gonna be, it's gonna start building up a lot right now to the premiere of Daryl Dixon, which is like 20 something days away. And then as soon as the Daryl Dixon show ends, we have Fear the Walking Dead's last 6 episodes, and then throughout all of it, we have the promotion for the Rick and Michonne show. So the next 3-4 months are going to be insane. My next break really is going to be around Christmas time. So yeah, I'm excited for the holidays here. So definitely post our thoughts down below. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.